Well, I've been kind of busy. I took apart the LCB, and I had this one in the Celica when we made the trip to Kansas. And here's why I couldn't hear my father-in-law talking to me. The speaker crapped out. It's a real low profile. Try to find one. Otherwise, I've got the external speaker for it that I bought. So I took it apart because I've got this paint. It's a 2K paint. It's really expensive, even with my discount. So I didn't want to just use it on the face. Got it all painted finally. Little pieces here. So I took those out. They were all scratched up and dinged up, and painted them. Like I said, I didn't want to waste it because once you activate it, you have to use it. And so this is something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. I finally got the bumper painted and edge primed first and everything, so all that's good. So yeah, tomorrow I'll get it all back together. I got a reverse light rolled out, I think I need to check into. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go sit in my chair. I'm gonna try to polish the chrome a little bit on that, and then that's it. See you later. Okay, it is the next day. True to my word, I sat in my chair and I polished this thing as much as I could. This is chrome plated plastic, of course. And it came out all right. Now, unfortunately, one thing I didn't do, when I took this knob off, I didn't look at what channel it was on, so we'll have to figure that out. I did try to go in there and fix these switches, and this one works now, but this one's still screwed up. So I hope that's not a problem. The biggest problem I had was trying to pull these knobs off. I didn't try real super hard, but apparently I tried hard enough that now there's a major hitch in the volume knob, and hopefully I didn't screw up the switch, but we'll find out. I just have these wires sticking out for the time being right now. When I did find a speaker on eBay. I got it coming. And so I'll test this thing first, and then, you know, if everything's good, I'll put that speaker in it. But I can put that away now. I think it came out looking pretty good. I mean, it's gonna be sitting on the dashboard, so, you know, whatevs. Now, let's see. Oh, Christy made me some things. I'll show you that here in a minute. So now I need to check the bulb. Mike last night told me this one's actually working, even though that bulb is black, and that this is the one I just changed and it's not working. So I need the license plate back on, the air shock fitting. Let me see here, make this thing focus. There we are. Air shock fitting goes there, license plate. I really want to put some yellow chevrons on here, but that's going to take all day to mask off and do, and it's not necessary for the trip. I mean, this wasn't necessary for the trip, but I really didn't want to waste a $30 or $20 can of paint just to paint those parts up there, so I had to do all this. So I am going to do something. What am I going to do? I'm going to go throw this thing in reverse and turn the key on and see which one of those lights is out. Well, he was right. That one over there is working. This one is not, and I just changed it. Watch, when I touch it, it'll probably start working. Yep. Okay, what is your problem, Michael? It's new, there's no corrosion. Don't know. Snowballs. So, the thing about snowballing projects, you start a small project and it snowballs into something bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes to get out of control. So, the whole thing with this was that can of paint was 25 bucks, I think, something like that. Once you activate it, you have to use it. It's not like you just use a little bit of a spray can and put it back on the shelf. So I needed to paint the dash thing, and I wasn't going to use the whole can of paint on it. So I had to find things to paint that color black. So I spent all day yesterday sanding things, prepping things, doing things. Painted this, you know, in the evening. Came out pretty good. It's already dirty as hell. So I went to put the lights back in. This light wasn't working, and I just changed the bulb. And so I changed the bulb, and then all of a sudden, neither of them worked, and my taillights were glowing dimly. So I had a ground problem. So I made up a ground. I went to put it in, and I realized I'd already done that. Checked continuity and resistance. Everything was great. So I finally come into here. I see socket spinning. So it's pulling its ground through the taillight. Whatever. Took it all apart. Made sure everything was in decent shape. Spring, everything's good. Of course, I had to destroy the boot to do it. So now I got to figure out how to tighten that up. I thought about using a punch on it, but I don't think that's going to work. So I need to get behind there, sand it down, and maybe solder it. If not, knock that out, drill it, whatever I got to do, and get a new socket in there. So yeah, these lights didn't have anything to do with anything other than I didn't want to get overspray on them. So, oh well. So that's a fail. I tried soldering it, but I failed miserably, so I just knocked it out of there. It wasn't great anyway. I'll have to wait until tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday, when I go back to work. I had this one, but it's a double filament, unfortunately. So, on to the next project. So, I had Christy make me some stuff. Let me show you. Christy has a Cricket. Not a Cricket car. Although that would be awesome. I'd probably have to tell her how much of a piece of junk they are so I could talk her out of it. But no, it makes stickers. She made me these. And I think they're a little big, but they'll work. So we're gonna work on that right now. Need to go get some rubbing alcohol, wipe it off. I can label these things here: fog, fan, cool, choke. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. I'll be right back with some rubbing alcohol. Clean hands. Alrighty, there we are. I think the letters are just a little big, but it's okay. You definitely tell what they're for. Okay, today's job here real quick. I gotta move the truck before Christy gets home. We're gonna change this grill. That's the new one I got from Jason. I traded him that other one for it because this is a genuine Mazda grill. It's got the argent paint and the stainless trim around it, where the other grill I had was chrome plated and then painted, and of course the paint is chipping off of the chrome, which for him, he's going to strip it and polish it and make it look all fancy. That's not my style, so I'd much rather have the stock grill than that one. So this thing, way back when I had the other cab on it, it was an 82 Mazda B2000 Sundowner Sport cab. It had a dealer copy AC unit, like a dealer installed AC unit that was a copy of the factory Mazda one that came out in late 82. So it had a condenser out here. And then on the Couriers and on the late B2000s, the grill comes out to like there. So there's plenty of room for a condenser. There wasn't on this. So I had to cut all this apart. I ended up cutting it right along where it's black to there to put this condenser in there and have enough room. I ended up losing the hood latch, so I had pins. I didn't want to stay with that. This hood is too flimsy to support the pins being the only thing there. So on this time around, actually, let's see, that condenser is over there, is really crappy tube, you know, style for R12. And it was borderline for R12. It probably didn't work that well at low speed. It probably worked fine at high speed, but in 134, it worked okay at high speed and it didn't work at all at low speed. I'm running propane butane hydrocarbon refrigerant, which works a lot better than 134A. But this time around, I got a parallel flow condenser, and I made it fit tight to the radiator. I don't remember if there was a video on this from before, but you can see I notched the brackets so it won't ever go anywhere. It's basically one unit to the radiator, but that one does work a lot better at low speed, and it works great at high speeds. It'll freeze your kneecap just fine. But I have all this room now. In doing all this though, I cut the mounts off in the middle because all this stuff had been cut out of the other radiator. And I have these hooks holding the radiator in, and nothing in the middle, so it's flimsy. And this grill wasn't great anyway. It had this one spot here that was broken. It's missing that, and this yellow paint, when I did it, it didn't come out very well. And for some odd reason, even though I spent the time prepping this thing, this paint did not hold up. You see how it's gotten real rough and dark there? It's like all the metal flake in that charcoal stayed, but all the binder and all the gray disappeared. And it's not even that old. This is wheel paint, so I bought tough paint. Here's a used grill, and it's just a little faded at the bottom, even less so than that one is. And the stainless needs to be polished, but meh, I can live with it. I gotta do something with this though. I want to get rid of it. It says Mazda. I'll put the Courier badge there, and eventually I'll probably put yellow back in there because I like that little breakup. But I've got the correct mounts. So right now I've only got one more screw to pull out there, and then I got to pull those two hooks, and then this is out of here, and then I'll go ahead and put the new one in. I should have all of these little guys there. I just have to go find screws, and then I have to move this damn thing. So that's what we're gonna do. And there we are. Well, it doesn't look much different other than, you know, it doesn't have the yellow on it anymore. And I don't know whether you agree or not, it just kind of seemed that the yellow kind of broke up the monotony. But, you know, had to come up with a bunch of screws because I only had these two on either side, so I had to come up with 4 more. As you can see, they're all ugly. I'll try to find some black ones somewhere. I'm sure I've got some in my stashes. I gotta put some oil in it, close it back down, and move it. Alrighty, that's it for now. Now that, people, is the first bath that Whitey has had since the restoration. Notice it was really hard to get clean. I have taken it to the coin op places, but they never get it clean. There's some spots up here that are had to really scrub. Tomorrow I'm gonna run some polishing compound over some of those spots and try to see if I can't smooth them out a little bit better. Tomorrow he's getting waxed. Got my tires, my white leather tires all shined up, my smooth wheels all shined up. I still need to strip and paint this. Now this little jerk decided he was gonna go jump up on the roof right when in the middle of washing it. So hopefully he didn't do that tonight. Anyway, so yep, tomorrow I'll get a nice wax and polish, and that'll be it. Boy howdy, I don't think Whitey's ever looked so good. 2 coats of wax later, some polishing compound on the hood where there was some roughness. Shouldn't have waited so long to do the first wax. So I even waxed the wheels. Oh good, nice and shiny. disgusting here in about 2 days, so. Okay, so back on reverse light. I got this guy. Fits in a 3/4 hole, I think. Yeah, 3/4 hole. And it went right in there. It snapped right in. But then I bent the little tangs. And if I turn it real hard, I can get it to turn. So hopefully it won't corrode and end up losing whatever ground it had. So I just have to, here's the bulb. I'm not real happy with how tight that sits. It doesn't sit tight at all. Anyway, so I just have to hook up the wire, splice it to the connector, and I think we're fine. And there we are. All I got left to do is put the lens back on and clean up all my mess from earlier.